I want to talk about the Labour Party. And they're pledged to provide 1.5 million homes, and whether or not they will fail or not. Now, this is not a Labour Party bashing, no. In fact, I was very inspired by Keir Starmer's speech. Well, in fact, the whole Labour conference, it was chalk and cheese in comparison to the Tories, but, you know, talk is cheap. It really is. We need to see action. Now, obviously, Labour's not in power. I get that. But they're going to be fighting an uphill battle. There is going to be so much against them. There really is. Not just the media, no, I'm talking practically. I'll give you a little bit of my background. I've worked in construction most of my life. I'm a qualified electrician, I'm a qualified plumber, and I'm a qualified bricklayer. And a joiner. So, I've worked alongside with my company, alongside large building, construction firms such as Bovis and Wilcon Homes and what have you. Worked on their sites, but with them, alongside them. I've worked and managed large construction projects, such in Grays, Thurrock and Grays, all those tall blocks of flats, overcladded them, with our team. But also in East Barnet, we overcladded Desmond House and Cat Hill. These are all, pretty large, very expensive projects. And no, we did not do Grenfell. Although I would say Desmond House on Cat Hill is one to, maybe look a bit closer at, because it's a resin plan panel by a Turner and it's effectively a thick formica and it burns. Yeah, so I'd be a bit concerned about that one. Anyway, hopefully they'll do something about it, we'll see. Now, when I was working in these places, I saw, from behind the scenes, there's a lot of backhanders going on. And I'm not talking about money, lumps of cash. I'm talking about, you build this and we'll allow this. Lobbying directly with the councils and planning in particular. So, it was basically a barter. It was a deal to be had. We need a new school because you're building these houses. Or we need this, or we need that. We need a certain amount of council houses as per law, but we want extra, which is obviously a good thing. But there's more to it than that. Once these places were built, there's a long, drawn-out process of getting the land for which these houses are being built on transferred over to the councils. So until the site is finished, you see, the actual construction firm is responsible for all the maintenance, whether it be cutting the grass or cutting the hedges, looking after the play apparatus on the little playgrounds and what have you. But the councils would do absolutely everything they can to stop this transfer of responsibility of this land, of these properties. Everything they could. Too many stones in the grass or something like that. I've seen teams of people on their hands and knees with buckets picking out stones out of fields. I think that was at Attleborough. I think that was an Attleborough site. Blackthorn or Blackhorse site. Anyway, that's another story. See, the pressure there and the ongoing responsibility by the construction firms, these are all things that hamper their desire to invest. This is where I can see the problems coming in with changing legislation. I was having a conversation with some people on Discord and they said, we just changed legislation. It's not as simple as that. We're talking about profit-based businesses. Now, one person said to me, well, how did Clement Attlee do it? Build all those houses. Well, for argument's sake, I think it was back in 1975, there was approximately, I researched it this morning, 105,740 council houses built in 1975. But 89,730 of them, I think I got that right, were provided by the private sector. Well, this got me thinking. We need to change the way that we look at how we build our council properties. There's a dire need for them. There really is. Now, one mad idea I had sprung in my head. Well, if, for instance, talking about nationalisation now, if, for instance, the construction firms can make massive profits, for which they do, why can't we have a nationalised construction outfit network across the country? Predominantly building council houses. And the potential profits that they'd be paying out on these properties. Because they're all got to be paid for, you see. They'll all be funded, and they'll all be self-funding, you see. Although the rules got changed back, I think it was in 2015, I think it was. The rules were changed, and all of a sudden we saw a massive uptake of council house sales against the amount that are built. I think since 2012, it was 10,644 council houses were actually built, but 51,352 were actually sold. Well, that's the wrong way round. Sorry, you can't expect to have a right to buy, a council housing stock to maintain a level if you're selling more than you're building. That doesn't make any sense. No sense whatsoever. Under the Tories, they don't want to be investing in it, you see. Now, many of the councils will have to get funding, have to get loans to build these properties, and those changes made in the actual in the amount they could actually borrow to actually build council properties. It's painful to see, it really is. But the thing is, we have to also remember, I don't actually think right to buy is the problem. It's the fact we're not building. Actually, we're just nowhere near enough. Now, I actually think we should. I was thinking about this this morning over a bowl of soup. Very early morning soup. Anyway, and I was thinking to myself that maybe right to buy isn't the problem. Maybe what we need to obviously need to build more properties. But no, being in the industry and doing maintenance work for councils and what have you as well, our firm, the amount of money they used to pay us, it doesn't really cover the council rents because the rents are lower. It was ridiculous, whether it be new windows, new this, new kitchen. Oh, the kitchen's flooded, we've got to do this, got to do that. Most of the stuff is not covered by insurance, you see. Huge amounts of costs. A lot of times, they've got the asset value, but they're not going to, if they can't sell it, that doesn't mean anything to them, apart from the fact that it costs them more than insurance. So there's ongoing costs. Now, most of these costs come when the property comes out after, say, 20 years. And all of a sudden, this needs doing, all that needs doing, all that needs doing, all that needs doing. Maybe, there shouldn't be right to buy. Maybe we should cancel right to buy until the property's over 20 years old. And for new people moving into new properties for 20 years. Can't buy it for 20 years. Just an idea. Just my mad idea. You see, and when Margaret Thatcher, when she brought in her right to buy, it was a bit mad idea, let's be honest. It was a mad idea. I don't agree with the idea, but I don't necessarily think it's the problem. When she brought it in, the money that was brought in from right to buy, massive discounts up to 40%, remember? Huge discounts. That shouldn't have been allowed in the first place. Not as big as that anyway. So these massive discounts, okay, so they didn't get as much money for the value of the property. They're down on the value of the property. It's crazy. And also, that money that the council managed to get, they can't even spend it on property. They couldn't use it to build more houses. They weren't allowed to. It was legislated as such. Madness. And some local authorities, such as Wherry or various others, what they did is, you see, well, actually, let's just turn it back round again. It wasn't Wherry and Orbit, it was the actual local councils, such as Broadland District Council, said, we can't spend this money, what we're going to have to do is, so we can release the funds, we're going to have a council-managed association called the Wherry Housing Association, which is not covered under the same rules as the council. So then they could the money that from the sales from the right to buy, they could reinvest. Still not enough. You see, the land that they needed to build on these properties is too expensive, and that's one of the reasons why it's tied into the construction industry. Construction industry, we want to build, 2,000 houses on this beautiful meadow. It's pretty much what's going on, isn't it? Oh, this beautiful meadow, all the poppies and stuff, lovely. Like Dozendale. We want to build all these houses on there. Dozendale and 4% Andrew, that is, if you don't know. And Battle of Dozendale, that's it. As such, what they do is you say, OK, then we want this amount of council houses, and the land gets gifted for that purpose, and the house gets built and what have you. But the build is paid for. But the council still have to get the funding for it, and they couldn't spend the money. It's mind-blowingly stupid. It really is. So there's a couple of ideas there. One is obviously, to have a nationalised construction firm, so the profits of what would have been spent out could have been put back in. But also maintain the fact that these large construction firms must provide the land to be able to build on it. Also the infrastructure to go along with it. Not just whether or not you got a playground or a school, if necessary, if it's a large, if the local school can't cope. And obviously massive handouts of money as well to maintain infrastructure. So, but these, if, say, for instance, Labour comes in and says, well, you've got to do this and you've got to do that, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. Obviously, the construction firm's profits are going to go down. And they're a business. Because they're getting away from those construction firms, the privatised, or the private construction firms, not privatised because they've never been nationalised, but anyway, private construction firms need to make money. So they reinvest along, you see. And that, what they will do is, if they find they can't make money, they just won't build. So that is what happened back in the last recession, that banking crash and whatever you call it. And they just shut the sites down. Sites that I was working on, that's it. No need to come. We're only doing the houses that are already been sold. We're not building anymore. Loads of people are laid off, whether it be subcontractors, all the support services as well, with the plumbers, the electricians, all those subcontractors, all gone. And all they basically did, their sites were laying semi-dormant. Carry on building the ones that were sold. That's it. So the construction firms, they will do it. If they can't see the money, they will just shut down. They'll lay dormant. I say, hang on, we're holding back a little bit. Now, this is one of the problems I can see when Labour gets in. The construction firms haven't got a clue what Labour's plans are. Because obviously Labour doesn't want to tell anybody at the moment, do they? Because if they're worried about the Tories might steal them, and they probably will. So, I can see some huge problems there. There's going to be, if they say 1.5 million homes over 5 years, that's 300,000 years. Not going to be 300,000 in the first year. No. There might be 50,000. And the following year, there might be 150,000. And then the following year, that might be... But you see, we get into the last year, up to the fifth year, if the legislation has made a positive effect, well, they have to see a massive amount of building going on in the last year. There's going to be a huge amount of protests. There's going to be a huge amount of people, I don't like this. Now, some people call it NIMBYism. For me personally, it isn't about them building in my backyard. It'd be more because I worry about the environment, because I'm a bit of a greenie, me. My preferred choice would be the greens, because that's what I'm about. I love nature and stuff like that. And I don't see it even from Labour at the moment, or because I don't know what the plans are. But when they tell me they're going to open up more greenbelt land, that is a deep concern. It's not about NIMBYism. Besides, I don't live there anymore. I live in France. I've got beautiful green fields everywhere. But the likelihood of them building on my field just over there is pretty darn slim. No, it's not my worry. But I do worry about the environment. And it's got a rewilding project we're doing here. It's just... The link's down below if you're interested. If you want to buy a tree. But it's... I'm very worried there's a shortism. Let's build a huge amount of houses all of a sudden. The 1.5 million is not a huge amount, let's be honest. A huge amount of houses all of a sudden. What's going to happen? Well, it might put sticky plaster on. Until we have a massive housing shortage in another 5 to 10 years. Remember, this is probably going to take 10 to 15 years to sort out anyway. But where are we going to build then? So this is my thing. My views on this is in the sense that we're using the wrong materials. We're using wrong. We seem to have our head in the sand regarding alternative styles of homes, different types of homes. I don't see any reason why we can't build up. If it's done properly, and not how it's been done in the past, where all it's done is create some pretty dire places, such as in Grays and Thurrock. I'll talk about the flats, just so you know. Yeah, I don't want to go into detail, but let's just say there was human faeces in the lifts. It was not a pleasant place. No. dire, in fact. And now we've got shit all in the rivers and seas as well. That's great, isn't it? Lovely. Yeah, what the hell has happened? Now, I think we've got a bit of a tipping point here, haven't we? Not just because of the fact the amount of people we've got in the United Kingdom, the amount of housing required, but also immigration. We have to think about that. We've got to have to think about the global crisis and that immigration as well. We could get more migration to cooler temperatures, which would probably be the UK. It's always flipping raining in the UK. So that's clearly going to come up unless we literally just shut the doors on everybody. Oh, God, that'd be awful. So the problem's going to escalate. We can't just be looking about now. This is where communism comes in. Communist countries like China, for instance, they look the next 100 years. We look for the next 5. It doesn't make any sense. No wonder we're buggered. So, crikey. So, I do believe we need to curb the lobbying, cronyism. We should not allow construction firms to lobby governments or the councils. There should be board meetings. There should be meetings where they can come in and make their offer, not from the back door, some councillor or what have you. You know, I'll ferry your flipping palms maybe, and then we'll do this or do that. I don't know. You know how it goes. I've seen it. Now, infrastructure's going to have to catch up as well. So this massive amount of spending there is going to have to be done. Because as soon as obviously you put people all together in one place, they need facilities. Whether it be more shopping, such as food, roads, water, gas, electric, all those things. And now we're going to have more and more electric vehicles as well. It's more infrastructure. I think Labour's got a massive, massive, massive job on their hands. And I really do hope, hand on heart, that they'll manage to pull it off. I really do. And don't get me wrong, there's no doubt that Labour will do a much better job than these Tories have done for the last 13 odd years. Because they have cocked up big time. I see it in my own eyes. It's just no common sense whatsoever. They get on about common sense. Hey, Lee Ann's the common sense. It's bollocks. He's got no common sense whatsoever. He thinks everyone's going to have a nutritional meal for 30p. Lee. Huh? Makes no sense whatsoever. You'll end up with rickets. Or something. Oh, maybe not, but anyway, it's just supposed to be coming in my head. So we've got crikey, we've got problems all over the place, haven't we? So we've got the fact land. We're talking about building on greenbelt land, which I'm not happy about. It's not about NIMBYism. Obviously, because I don't live there, I don't have to look at it. But I worry about our little creatures, all great and small. They've got to have something to live as well. And also, we need good, clean air, and we need environment that we can feel at home with the land or with the place, or we feel under constant pressure from civilization around us. Sometimes you want to escape, go on holiday. All these places will eventually disappear. Well, I used to live in Salhouse in the Broadland area, Norfolk. And when I went back last year, beginning of last year, it's basically joined up between Salhouse and Norwich, the city. There was no green land in between anymore. There used to be fields all between. It's all been built on now. In the time there's a massive amount of construction going on there. And so there's that problem, land. Materials, got a massive problem regarding materials. We can't get the materials we need quick enough. Larger construction firms, they basically gobble them all up. I think, for instance, if we did have a nationalised construction outfit across the country, legislation should be in place so they always get preference to materials that are on offer. Like, for instance, their orders they're going to put their orders in the fair. You can't just turn up and say, no, you can't just do that. You obviously you have to have lead time. I get that. So we've got legislation, right? It's got to be changed. The land, the greenbelt land. We've got the construction materials. Remember, many of them are imported. Don't try and tell me they're not, because they are. And many of them comes from the EU. And the EU's also got a shortage in France, Germany, because massive construction, and in the Netherlands. So they hold on to the materials. Why send them to the UK? You send the surplus to the UK. This is Brexit for you. It's nuts. What are you going to do? Ship flipping tons and tons and tons of concrete blocks from the United States or Canada or somewhere like that, are you? Another reason to change the way they build their houses. So we've got that problem. We've got the fact of the matter is that construction firms, they need to make a flipping profit. And as soon as we stop them making a profit or make them make less money, they're going to sit on their land, because when the land that they build on, they buy that like decades before they actually build on it. They buy it for pittance. Like 30 years ago, some of the land that I used to work on, it was purchased like 30 years previous to being built on, and they just sit on it as farmland, and they just sit on it and sit on it and keep applying more pressure onto the councils until finally they get building approval. That's what they'll do. And they always do. They always look ahead. They can sit on it. There's got so much asset value in these construction firms. They can sit on it, because if they need a bit of cash, they can borrow against it. They generally don't, because they make huge amounts of money anyway. Remember, many of these construction firms also have massive rental catalogues of properties. Rental, what do you call it? Oh, crikey. Anyway, lots of houses. They've got lots and lots of houses already. And this video's getting a bit long, isn't it? Oh my God, it's 21 minutes long. Oh dear. So, there's that. You've got the lobbying, you've got the infrastructure's going to have to catch up, got promises, they're going to have to be, must be kept, otherwise Labour's going to fall flat on their face anyway, because this stuff is constantly going to be thrown at them, because there will be a level of failures, or what perceived as failures, without actually understanding how long this stuff takes. Oh, I don't know, I could go on, it's getting too long now, so I'm gonna turn off. Oh, dear me. What a mess. And you tell me what we're going to do. What can we actually do? What legislation can we change that has a positive effect on the houses that are being built, not just for today, but for tomorrow? And then they got materials as well. Leave in the comments down below, because I do read the comments, but you probably already know. I'm very sorry it's another long video, but I could make 5 videos on this, I suppose. Ta-ta. I might break this down actually into other videos. I'll see what I do. Ta-ta.